What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions. Just another late recap on today's trades. So another really busy day with everything that went within the group. So I do want to congratulate everyone who was able to bring in profit. One of the biggest stocks that were spoken about today was DRYS. This is one that I was trading yesterday. I cut it at the bounce from as low as 125. Ended up selling yesterday after market hours at 130. Ended up bouncing and hitting those same lows as it did, yesterday. So the 125 support ended up hitting highs of about 145 during market open. Came back down, showed signs of upward momentum since it didn't drop below the 132 support, right? And then it, picked right up and ended up going, after hours all the way up to highs of 160 and continued to hold pretty well above in that range. This was kind of just more of a surprise, and again, DRYS is one that has been very volatile, and it looks like it was pretty much plateauing at that 120, 130 range based on the past previous 5 to 10 days. It came from a highs of about like 180 a couple days ago. As you can see, it came back down, kind of started a flat line showing kind of that's the lowest point that it will go. So it's showing a good support around that 125 area. So again, a good buy point, right? And a good sell point usually was around 130 to 135. It did have those, sporadic, peaks to 140, 140, 140. So ideally that was where you usually wanted to sell. But today the volume was just, amazing, and it was showing signs of upward momentum. So I definitely think that this one's either going to be a big winner tomorrow or a big loser, depending on which way it goes, and we're going to have to see how it opens during pre-market hours. But I do want to congratulate everyone that was able to jump into DRYS. This is what I think is so beautiful about TechBit Solutions, is because of my exposure that I put out on DRYS yesterday, talking about it and doing my recaps within the group chat and all that stuff. Doesn't mean that anyone has to trade it that specific day, but adding it to your watch list, setting alerts on that specific stock to identify and to alert you when the potential it comes out for DRYS and when you see that true potential. And today, was just that. I ended up not being able to jump in today. I had a really busy morning, so I didn't trade too much. I do want to talk about 3 different trades that I did. It was on 2 separate stocks. One of them, of course, being the most common one that we were trading today, or the past couple of weeks, and that was NUGT. Just like I did, for the past 2 to 3 days, and it's one that I've been buying at this certain buy point or support previous, and it was at that 760 support, selling at that 780 resistance as it continues to do the same thing. Today it did go a little bit lower, ended up buying at 760, selling at, it was initially when it came back down, ended up selling at 780. And I stop lost that at 780. So as it continued to rise, it hit highs of 793. So that was the old resistance that I had a couple days ago, but then came back down, bounced again, touched 765. So showing signs of upward momentum, and peaked at 187. Multiple times, and then came back down and held at lows of 765. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out tomorrow, and make sure that we want to see that upward momentum. Just because we've been buying and selling at that same point doesn't mean that it's going to continue to do the same thing for the life of the stock. So most likely it's either going to break way below the support or start to show signs of true upward momentum and break above the 793 resistance. So we're going to have to see how it opens tomorrow. So with that simple trade, I was able to bring $80 with that trade. There's a couple members within TechBit Solutions that were able to follow with another successful trade. So I do want to give a huge shout out to you guys. And then FNCX, this one really played us pretty well today. So I was up over $120 on this specific stock on my initial trade, and I identified this when I called it out during the with our pre-market movers group chat, because of how it was the support at 90 cents, resistance at 95, and then after market hours and pre-market hours it showed to have highs of about 120, came back down, and we were kind of expecting that. Once the market opened, it saw a huge dip. I initially bought it at 97 cents when it took a dip below $1. I bought it at 97 cents, hit highs of about 103. At that specific point, I was up, I believe, $155 with my $3,000 vested, and then it came right back down. I was following with the trailing stop loss. I put it at $1 just to lock in the profits. I removed it and then put it at 97 cents, which is my buy point. I put it at 96.99. So I ended up losing and stop lossing out. So instead of locking in my profits, it came back down, stop lossed out. I lost $3, so nothing crazy. Again, it was 1/10 of a cent, and then dropped built its support at about 88 cents, and then that's where I bought in, but only with $1,000. And I told the team my whole game plan with FNCX was to actually just put $1,000 and see if we could actually ride it back all the way up to the 180 points. So it had a huge drop all of a sudden. It did talk about a potential merger, so something big can happen with FNCX. I usually don't go long or hold penny stocks overnight whatsoever, but this is one that, I have the $1,000. I am going to put a stop loss anything below the 75-cent support that I was able to identify. Now to cut my losses there, but I'm going to try to go long on this one and see if I can ride it all the way up to the 150, 180 area and kind of see how it plays out. So let me know what you guys think about FNCX. I'm currently up about $36 after market hours with my hold, and I'm not going to sell it until it gets back to this point, or at least well above the 120, 130 range. But this might be a longer hold, and again, it's not much that I'm risking. It's just $1,000, which I'm willing to kind of either make it or break it for that $1,000. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. And then I do want to talk about one last one, and it's one that one of our members were talking about today, and it's KAYS. He told me to do a technical analysis. I did one for him, and he's like, this is expecting a bounce. And what I saw was that, it had a support right around that 6 cent, had a resistance right around that 13 cents. It broke the resistance, spiked all the way up to, 55 cents and came back down. And that's great, right? But now it's not holding. And now because of this gap, today had a huge red day and, started making making its way all the way down. Although it does have that potential based on the previous trend, it's most likely going to trade around that 8 cents to 13 cents again. And I said it was a safer bet to actually ride it up when you see that upward momentum, rather than just trying to catch it at the lowest point and risking it to continue riding it down. So I'd much rather be on this side of the trend than catching it at all of a sudden to have a sudden pop. I really I wouldn't be hoping for the best with KAYS just based on its previous trends, but that's pretty much just my breakdown with this specific stock. So thank you guys again for watching for one of my daily recaps. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to be a part of your success. Feel free to reach out to me. If you guys would like to be part of TechBot Solutions, it is a free group you can join. The link is provided for you down below, and within that link you're going to have access to our group chat platform, which is this nice group chat where we talk about our best practices. And then with that, you can choose to be a part of any group that within the group TechBot Solutions that best fits your needs. So thank you guys again. I really do appreciate it. If you guys can like and subscribe, we'd appreciate that as well. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and let's make sure that we end the week on a green note. Take care, guys. Baby, don't you let it go to waste.